Over the last 5 years, grocery store prices have gone up nearly 25%. But your food budget doesn't have to follow this trend. With smarter shopping habits and modern tools, we can cut costs in your grocery budget without having to eat top ramen for every meal. So if you feel like your food is eating your budget, stick around. Hi, I'm Jacob Wade from Lunch Money. I'm a financial coach, and today I want to share with you 10 practical, simple to implement grocery store beating hacks to help you actually save money in 2025 and beyond. You're going to learn how to shop smarter, how to plan strategically before you actually go to the store, how to use multiple stores to actually get the best prices on everything, and how to bring it all together inside the Lunch Money app. So let's get right into it. All right, number one is to use a grocery store app or loyalty program. Now, if you shop a ton of stores like we do in our family, it is annoying to sign up for several of these. But once you're signed up, you can use the app to actually clip digital coupons. And the app actually knows what you shop for. If you link your account every time you check out, it'll now have a history of what you shop for and start to serve you those coupons for those staples and items that you buy regularly. This could save you, 10 plus dollars each shopping trip once you start to stack up those digital coupons. So sign up for the loyalty program, get the dumb little card on your keychain if you have to, but make sure you get the app if they have one, start clipping digital coupons and look out for savings. And sometimes they'll even send out weekly emails with, all of the ads and stuff that's on sale. So just sign up for the loyalty program. Even if it's annoying, it can save you real, actual money. All right, number two is to shop multiple stores based on their deals and what they typically have the best prices on. No one store is going to have the best price on everything for your entire grocery budget. You might find that you get better produce at a Kroger store, for example, but you could buy meat in bulk for cheaper at Costco. And then maybe you can get staples and pantry items at a Walmart neighborhood market. So just make sure you check each of these stores and start to compare prices and get an idea of where you can find cheaper prices on each of these things. And then if you combine that with, like I said, signing up for that loyalty program and then looking at what's on sale this week, you can start to get even more savings for your weekly shopping trips. And if you can, kind of a bonus is if you can find multiple stores, say that you're shopping at 3 stores for the week, if they're all within, short driving distance, you can at least save a little bit of time and gas money as well if you just do it in a single shopping trip. All right, number three is to meal plan based on what's on sale, not on what you're craving this week. Now, I know that can sound weird. It's like, no, you want to eat what you want to eat. But if you could just take a look again to those grocery store sales and see what coupons have come through, find the things that are on mega sale, right? Half off or more, or, the price per pound gets cut in half on a certain protein. Go ahead and shop those things and create your meal plan based on those sales. It'll help you save more money. You can still find something that you like to make, but you're going to save a huge chunk of money. Sometimes, like I said, 50% or more on the main expensive ingredient for that meal. And a little bonus tip on that one is to also try to create multiple meals that have similar ingredients. So if chicken is on mega sale at Costco, buy a bunch of that and create maybe 3 or 4 chicken-based meals, and they can be vastly different, but it could save you a ton of money on that meal plan. All right, tip number four is to shop your pantry and your refrigerator first. Now, I finally graduated to the world of adulthood and I have a garage fridge as well. So we have extra ingredients in the garage. We have a ton of stuff in the pantry. And every now and then we just go through and create pantry meal plan. Literally, what is in our pantry that can create a meal combined with maybe what's in our garage fridge. Let's just put together a meal plan for that. I bet you can make at least 3 to 4 meals out of the stuff that's already sitting in your house. This is the ultimate we already have food at home hack. But if you shop your pantry first, you can save yourself a ton of money, literally hundreds of dollars per year, just by doing this once a month. Just do a pantry meal week once a month and go through those unused ingredients that you have sitting around in your house. All right, number five is something you've probably already heard of, buying in bulk. But listen, it doesn't always make sense to buy in bulk. Only buy in bulk when it makes sense. Now, we talked about looking at, the loyalty programs and getting the weekly coupon ads. What is on sale now? Sometimes it's good to buy in bulk when you find a sale item. That works best for non-perishable items. Things like pantry staples or like rice and potatoes and things that'll last a little bit longer, that are more shelf stable, or for things that you can put in the freezer, like frozen vegetables or fruit or meats, especially meats. Meats have gone up in price pretty much more than anything else, that and eggs, right? But you can't really buy eggs in bulk. Those won't last quite as long. But if you can buy, frozen chicken at Costco, for example, or frozen chicken at Aldi, and it's 70% off its normal price. Well, stock up on that, right? Get 5 pounds of chicken and then throw it in the freezer, and that's going to save you 70% on an expensive item in each one of your meals. And now you can literally save, 50 bucks every single month just buying in bulk the right items. Now, do not buy in bulk perishable items, things that are going to go bad, things like produce. That is not a good use of money and it'll just get thrown away eventually. I know that we are guilty of throwing the lettuce in the fridge drawer, or it actually just sits there so long it ends up getting frozen in the back of our fridge and we end up having to toss that. That's not a good use of our money. And then don't stock up on bulk snacks. Listen, I know when you go to Costco, when you're checking out, you walk by 4 aisles of the most amazing snacks in the world and you could buy 10 pounds of it at a time. That is not going to save you money. Prepackaged foods and especially snacks that you're going to overeat on anyway is not going to save you money. You're going to waste a lot of money doing that. So stock up in bulk when it makes sense, but don't do it for everything. All right, tip number 6, and a lot of you that have been doing grocery shopping for a long time have probably already found this out, but discount grocers and places like ethnic markets, local ethnic markets, can find ingredients for much, much, much cheaper than the big grocery store. So places like Aldi or Lidl might have a smaller selection, but a really, really great price. Or Grocery Outlet is one I know that's regional, but they have very low prices on staples that you can find or frozen foods. And then local ethnic markets, you could find tons of spices in different flavors and again, pantry staples for a lot less than you can get at the bigger grocery stores. So if you just shop those and stock up, you can save tons of money, but you could also find some maybe cool new flavors and food ideas you hadn't even thought of before. So make sure you check out those places before you complete your shopping trip. All right, now number 7 is to set a per meal or even a per serving budget for your family. So, for example, if you're a family of 4, maybe you want to make sure that your dinners are only $10 a meal, and maybe your breakfast and lunch are only $5 a meal. When you set those limits, as you start to shop for ingredients for breakfast, for example, you're going to think, okay, how can I serve my family for about $5 per meal every time I make breakfast, and about $5 when I make lunch? Now, dinner is typically the more expensive meal. So, if you're going to do $10 per meal for dinner, you start to look at all the ingredients you're going to need. You're going to look at the meal plan or the recipe that you're trying to create and go, can I put all these ingredients together for about $10 on average to serve my family? So setting a budget in that way can sort of help you stay within, the bumper lanes of your spending for your grocery shopping, but also it just gives you a framework to work within when you're actually shopping for those ingredients for those meal plans. Number 8 is to avoid convenience. Here's what I mean by that. Have you ever walked down the grocery aisle and you see pre-shredded cheese or pre-cut veggies or pre-cut fruit and everything's nicely packaged, or even little meal prep kits and pre-made meals ready to go? Those are typically more expensive and you get less volume of food out of those things. So the price per ounce is going to be a lot higher than doing it yourself. So don't just go for the convenient, quick, easy option. Buy whole foods and cut them up yourself, prep them yourself, shred the cheese yourself. You're going to save a ton of money that way. You're going to get a lot more food and it's going to be a lot lower cost per pound than if you buy the pre-made stuff. All right, number 9 is to shop on weekdays, not weekends. If you can do this, try doing your grocery shopping on weekdays only, because a couple of reasons. One, it's less crowded. Like nobody wants to go to Costco on a Sunday. Trust me, been there, done that. Don't want to ever do that again. But number 2 is a lot of times stores have, especially their perishable foods, have markdowns, and they're trying to get things, before the expiration date. They put them on the discount shelves. They'll mark down items to make them even cheaper. So you can actually get better deals on the regular stuff you're buying anyway. And stores on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, on average, are usually restocking items and bringing things in. So you might get, more access to better produce, or you might be able to access stuff that's a little bit older, but half the price. So shopping on weekdays can help you save money. Plus, when you're there on a weekday and it's less crowded, you feel less stressed and just less temptation to impulse buy to try to get through the shopping trip. So I highly recommend shopping on weekdays, not weekends. All right, number 10 is to shop on line. Now, everybody's made this so easy. And yes, you do have to pay sometimes for grocery delivery. But for example, we shop Walmart. We've got a Walmart Plus membership through one of our credit cards, and we shop Amazon Whole Foods orders, and we get free delivery on the Walmart Plus option. And I think we pay a little bit for Amazon. But here's the thing: when you're in a grocery store, the entire thing is designed to have you spend more money. The way they play the music, the oxygen they pump into, the smells they put into the stores, the lighting, the way they set up all the aisles, literally everything is designed to get you to spend more money once you step foot in that store. But if you can shop online, you can just create your meal plan, click, 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 and put that all together. I bet even the $10 you might spend getting groceries delivered is going to save you more than the $100 you will overspend by stepping foot in the grocery store. So I'm actually a big fan of online shopping. I think there is something to be said for going in person and picking over the produce and finding the best products that you need in certain instances. But for a lot of stuff, especially staples or things you buy regularly, shopping online can save you a bunch of money, less distractions, and it's a lot more convenient, to be honest, to not have to go into the store. So that's number 10. All right, and a bonus hack here is to just keep track of everything. Of course, here at Lunch Money, we make that super simple. And if you click the link below, we'll give you 30 days for free. But you can set up a grocery budget, and you can even set up a specific budgeting period. So you don't have to budget by the month. You could set it up and budget per week. So you can give yourself a weekly grocery budget. So if you want to spend only $200 per week, you can set that. And every week we will reset, and the money can roll over to the next week, all within Lunch Money app. So you can see exactly where you're at, how you're doing. If you overspend, it pulls into the next week, but you can help keep yourself on track in real time, right? All the transactions are going to get pulled in there. We're going to automatic categorize it for you and put all the details together so that you know exactly where you're at any given time. So when you step foot in the grocery store, you just pull up the Lunch Money app and go, oh yeah, I guess I got about $120 left for this week. And then when, go shopping the next Monday, boom, you got another $200 into that grocery budget and you're ready to go for that week. So keeping track of what's going on, being realistic with what is actually happening instead of just guessing and swiping the card and hoping you didn't overspend. This is going to help you make the best money decisions you can around your groceries, and then combine it with meal planning and using the apps and all of these other tricks. I bet you can shave 30 to 50% off your grocery budget if you put this into practice today. Now, your grocery budget is just one line item in the dozens and dozens of categories you spend in every single month. And if you want to find more ways to save money, I've got 12 frugal hacks you can check out right here to help you save money without sacrificing your lifestyle. Check it out.